Welcome back to the State of Love and Trust. It's episode 262, and this week we're looking back at live Pearl Jam over the years. With the Dark Matter tour finally over, and Peter Frampton having just played Black in Nashville with the guys, it got us thinking, what are the best performances with a guest that Pearl Jam has ever done? You might be surprised at some of our answers. It's all next on the State of Love and Trust.
Hey, I'm Mike McCready from Pearl Jam.
Hey kids, this is Mark Arm from Mudhoney.
I'm Kevin Martin from Cannabis.
Hi, I'm Dave Cruzen.
I'm Tim Montana.
Hey, I'm James Joseph from James and the Cold Gun.
I am Matt Vaughn from Easy Street Records.
This is Richard Stuverud. And this is the State of Love and Trust.
The State of Love and Trust.
The State of Love and Trust.
Don't forget to rate, review, subscribe to the podcast wherever you listen. Feed that algorithm.
Welcome back to another episode of the State of Love and Trust. It's a Pearl Jam podcast, and one of your two hosts, Jason Kerepesi, and alongside me, as always, is
Paul Ghiglieri.
There it is. You got to have the cymbal crash at the end there.
Exactly.
Otherwise, what's the point of the air drumming if without a cymbal crash?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
It could be a really deep bass drum if I hit it hard enough on this mic, but I don't think anybody watching or listening wants to hear that. So.
Has any idea what's happening or just no interest whatsoever. Yeah. Not unlike a lot of the show. Anyway, as I just dive bomb our credibility right out of the gate, if you're watching us right now on YouTube, why? Just kidding. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell for notifications. And if you are listening to this train wreck already, Paul, what should they be doing?
They are rating, they are reviewing, they are hopefully subscribing on their preferred podcast platform of choice. Feed that algorithm. It's the only way to bring some sunshine into this June gloom.
Oh man,
anyway.
What is the deal with Southern California and June gloom?
I don't know. I think it's got to have something to do with the sunshine tax and Mother Nature saying
the sunshine tariff.
That's the exact. It's the sunshine tariff. It's the sunshine tariff. Yeah, it's the tariff on the sunshine tax. I don't know.
And then it'll be 1,000 degrees for the next 3 months. Anyway, as we bake, because it is very hot in my quote-unquote studio, let's give you the goods here. We do the monthly fundraisers each month. This month in June, the non-gloomy part is when we raise money for the charities, for the fundraisers, for the nonprofits. So this month, it's Alzheimer's Association. It is Alzheimer's Awareness Month, Paul. And if you scan the QR code on your screen right now, you can help over 7 million people in America who are living with the disease. Alzheimer's Association accelerates global research. They drive risk reduction and early detection, and they maximize quality and care for those people dealing with that. So please send in your money. If you're sending in $5 or more, Paul, what are they going to do? What are they going to get?
Well, they're going to get some stickers. I tell you what, I don't have Alzheimer's, but there's a high likelihood that I won't remember where all those things landed.
There's things on your screen right now. Look at these stickers and pins. Paul, do you have the?
Oh boy,
do you have it? Do you have the?
Do I ever? Would you look at that?
Look at that! Yeah. Ooh, look at that!
There it is.
Beautiful guitar pick. So that could all be yours if you donate $5 or more to Alzheimer's Association. And if you donate the most money, you'll get this, which is the Loose Groove compilation vinyl from Record Store Day last year. So all good things on this record, including Brittany Davis covering Present Tense. So that's really cool. Cool. If you are interested in helping the show, Patreon is one way. We appreciate all of our patrons. If you'd like to buy a shirt or a mug like this, that helps as well. And, Paul, the patrons, there's a monthly giveaway. Just random patron. We'll throw you a little something. This month, it was last week's guest
It's
book.
better than a thank you. It's better than a thank you.
Yes, it is. It's a thing. And that thing is The Flannel Years by Karen Mason Blair. So this could be yours if you are a patron in the month of June. Okay, all the housekeeping is done. Yes.
Hey, how fantastic was that conversation with her last week?
A lovely lady.
It's truly just a 5-star human. Very much enjoyed that.
I almost spat out my water. Or is it water? Let's bring in our guest.
This is it. So.
Let's bring in our guest, waiting in the green room, as they say. And he actually sat in for you, Paul, when I was in Nashville.
I recall. The only time that you get people to sit in for me is for fun live stuff.
Twice, yes.
Twice.
But
Yes,
you were part of the other one with this gentleman. It's Concertpants Sheehan Perera.
Welcome back, Sheehan. Always a pleasure to have you on.
Pleasure to be back. Thank you for having me.
We could not think of a more appropriate guest for tonight's episode, given the content and the topic for our discussion tonight.
Yeah, no, it's an interesting one.
Sheehan, what is it? What are we doing? Can you tell us?
We're talking about special guests with Pearl Jam and our favorite ones.
That's right.
So, parameters, gentlemen. Huh?
Yes.
Lay them out, Jason.
Okay, well, not many parameters. Basically, it has to be a Pearl Jam live event. It can't be an Eddie Vedder solo thing. It can't be, two of the guys. It has to be a Pearl Jam event. And I'm using the word event for a specific reason, where the band is playing in front of people and somebody comes and joins them and plays a song. It could be a Pearl Jam song. It could be a not Pearl Jam song. The point is, the person comes out and they play the song with them, and it makes the song really fun and enjoyable and memorable. What are our favorite 5? Because there's a friggin' ton.
And it has to be real, right? Like, I can't just say
correct.
I would love to hear Greta Thunberg join Pearl Jam on stage for a live rendition of Evil Little Goat. No, I can't say that.
Impossible.
That one's not going to qualify. Impossible.
No.
Okay.
Yeah. Now the impetus of this was at the aforementioned Nashville show that Sheehan and I attended, and earlier in the day we did the live show. At that second Nashville show, Sheehan, someone performed with Black, or with them to play Black. Who was that?
That was none other than Mr. Peter Frampton.
Correct. So, we get back.
It was incredible.
We get back home. And I'm still buzzing. And for those out there, you know how this show works. If one of us is out of town, if Paul's out of town or I'm out of town, we try to double up on record so that we don't miss a week for you. And it worked out that we had a couple banked. And so this is only our second recording since that show a month ago. Oh. So this is when we get a chance to actually talk about the tour.
Okay.
So this is kind of our not a tour recap show, but kind of how can we talk about live Pearl Jam with a foot still in the memory bank of this 11-date run that we just had. That will be the last number of Pearl Jam live shows for the foreseeable future. Oh no, bite your fist. Before we get into it though, I have to mention something that I know Sheehan knows about, and that is this. Yes.
Got mine
This
too.
that I'm holding, if you're only listening right now, this is a cross stitch done by a lovely woman named Jill from Ireland, who she said it took her about 14 hours to do one of these. And I'll try and hold it up close. There's a bit of a glare here. If you can see this, you can see the individual stitchings. This one says Oceans in the bottom, even though it's the Stickman. On the back, it says Dark Matter Tour 2025, handmade with love, Jill. So I got an Oceans one and I got a Rats one. And
very cool.
We're going to make one of these a giveaway for some reason. Maybe it'll be a secondary gift for somebody. But I wanted to point out Jill.
Outstanding. It never ceases to amaze me, the ingenuity, the creativity, the innovation behind the people of the Pearl Jam community, and just how much they amplify the art. And I think that's so much about what the band's music and the community is about. It's not just celebrating legacy. It's this constant driven need to create new art. Life informs art and vice versa. And so, Jill, hats off to you. Beautiful work there.
All right. Oh, I forgot one other caveat.
Oh,
Temple of the Dog is not allowed. That'd be way too easy. Now, I put it out on Instagram, the same kind of question that I posed to us and to the patrons, but I didn't mention the lack of Temple of the Dog. So everyone's
everyone said Temple.
Santa Barbara with Cornell, PJ20 in Alpine Valley. I'm that doesn't count. Too easy. Too easy. So sorry. But anything else, it's fair game.
So does Cornell coming out for hunger strike at the Gibson Does that
No,
count?
that's still Temple of the Dog, and you missed it.
Still
is.
4 out
It
of the
is.
5
I know
members.
I know I missed it. We're not going to revisit that story.
Damn it. Okay. So we have our marching orders, pretty wide guardrails. Sheehan, do you want to give me your fifth choice first?
Ooh, I didn't have them ranked. But yeah. I told you that I had categories for these, right? So
You did not, but I'm now intrigued.
Oh, okay. Well, so yeah, when I was thinking about all of these, I was thinking, okay, these kind of fall into categories. The special guest thing. One, which I find the least exciting, is when it's like they just come on at the end for Rockin' in the Free World or Baba and play a tambourine, and that's kind of it, right? But it's someone on there, right? And it's great. It's usually the opening act, but that's cool. The other one is when a guest comes on to play one of their own songs, right? So it's a cover for Pearl Jam, but there's an element of the originality in there because someone who originally played the song is there with them.
Right.
The other one is when someone comes on and they don't play a song that's either of theirs. So it's a cover for Pearl Jam and a cover for the special guest, which gets a little bit better. But I saved the best one for last for me, which is when it's someone who comes on and actually plays a Pearl Jam song. Mm-hmm. So they're adding new flavor. They're adding their own color to a Pearl Jam song. And I feel like that one actually, at least what I could think of, is the one that happens the least, but is the most special for me.
So that's the multiplier for you. If there's a tie, you're going to go with that one.
Yeah, exactly. So that's why Frampton is such a great example, because he did that. He played one of the absolute Pearl Jam classics and put entirely his own spin on it, which was just absolutely genius and beautiful. Mm-hmm. So yeah, that one, that's why I like that. But so if I have to go with number 5 first, it's going to be, I'm going to go with the 2 members of Cheap Trick that joined them at the Garden for Surrender.
Ooh, good call.
Yeah, but I absolutely love that version of Surrender.
They do a great cover of that in general. So to have those guys out there with them.
Yeah, I finally got to see them do it 23 in Chicago, and I was so happy to see them do it. But to me, it just always comes back to that one version. It plays on PJ Radio a lot. I wasn't at that show, but yeah, just
you said that was
in my
the
top
Garden,
5,
right?
That was the Garden, yeah.
Okay, yeah, good choice.
I don't know why the guitarist is blanking on me. The 2 members of Cheap Trick who joined
oh my God, someone help me. I'm having a brain fart myself. I'm going to Google. Talk amongst yourselves. The Partridge Family, neither Partridge nor family discuss.
Exactly.
Paul, give me your 5th choice while I'm Googling.
Okay, my 5th choice. I'm going to go with Neil Young, Rockin' in the Free World with Pearl Jam at the 93 VMAs.
Okay.
So good.
It is so good. I mean, this is not the first time this is not the only time that Neil has played this song with the band, but I think what was special about it was that 93 is a little bit, obviously, it's a lot more far removed from 2025. And I think at that point in time, Neil was in an interesting place professionally and I think within the context of where music was at the time. And I think for a band that was really kind of emerging out of the stratosphere that they had catapulted themselves into with their first 2 albums, for them to ground themselves in their relationship with Neil Young and kind of find their way in terms of, crafting out the path for what that legacy and what their career would be defined by. I thought that was important. And so this concept of rocking in the free world, if I had to articulate what is a signal, or what is the theme of Pearl Jam's music throughout the catalog and particularly live throughout their career, it very much is rocking in the free world. I mean, they are advocates for free speech, for equal rights and so on. And they are not just advocates. I would say that they are activists. And I think the spirit of that song with Neil on the stage with them was captured beautifully. To me, it's the best version that they've done live with him. I thought it was supercharged. I thought that there was an energy that they brought to playing that song with him in that venue in particular. And it was just about saying, to hell with the pomp and circumstance. Like, we're here and we're going to keep doing this because we believe in music as a vehicle. And Neil has kind of shown us a path forward for how we can do that without losing our souls. And for that reason, I think that this one really stands out to me.
I like it.
Awesome.
Perhaps more on that from me later. I'm going to go, my number 5, I'm going to go with Pearl Jam playing with Ace Frehley, Black Diamond, 2008 at Madison Square Garden. I've always loved this cover, maybe even better than the original. I know, sacrilegious. Sorry, Mike. But
Pearl Jam will do that.
I know. That's kind of part of the reason why another song is going to be where it is. But I like hearing this one because they played it a couple other times at the Garden as well. I think they played it in Amsterdam, and those were great. But to have Ace Frehley, Mike's childhood idol, or one of the idols, and he's doing the dueling guitars with him. He's basking in Ace Frehley's wicked soloing. You got Matt on lead vocals, even Mike singing at the outset. There's just so much happening in that. There's no Ed. Ed is just having a cigarette, which is, I find interesting that I've included a non-Ed performance here, but I think there's so many stars aligned here that the performance is so solid, and just to see the joy on Mike's face of performing a childhood classic of his with his idol was a lot of fun. So I got that at number 5. In Kiss's hometown, by the way.
Yes. Big deal for Matt too, actually, right?
That's true. That's true, because Matt, and in fact, kudos to Matt for finally getting his cease and desist.
Yeah, exactly.
removed.
For sure.
After what, 40 years, whatever it was.
Yeah.
So kudos to you, Matt. All right. So number 4, Sheehan, what are you going to do?
Okay, number 4. So now this is going to go into the category of a guest comes on to perform a Pearl Jam song with Pearl Jam.
All right.
Frampton did the classic, right? So it was very easy to kind of understand his contribution to it. I think in some cases when it's a rarity, someone comes on, and I feel like I associate this song very much with this guest. The song is Of the Earth with Jack White.
Oh, good call.
Great call. That's a fantastic call.
Yes.
And so, like, to me, like, Of the Earth just kind of is Of the Earth with Jack White. And I've heard a couple of other versions. I think there's one from South America from 2018, and I think one from Jazz Fest a few years ago too. But like, the standard is basically just Of the Earth with Jack White. So I think he made.
Is that Third Man you're talking about?
Yes, live at Third Man.
Yeah.
So yeah, had to put that one up there.
That's a great shout. That's a song that I often forget about because it's not a studio cut,
True.
And I don't think I've ever seen it live.
I've not.
But when Jack adds his own flair to everything he does, so that would make that one. Isn't it like 11 minutes long too?
Yes, it is. It is. So which other times I might have been like, oh yeah, that just totally didn't work. It just worked. Like it's what Jack needed to do with them. Like I was really hoping that would have happened at Nashville 22, even Nashville this year. But like, if Jack just flew back in between his tour to do it, but it's
good shout. I like it. All right, Paul, number 4.
When I think about Pearl Jam touring, there is just an extended period of time where Sonic Reducer is a staple of a Pearl Jam tour. Really, really is. There's just something about that 1977 punk rock tune that I think the band loves it. The fans love it. It just seemed to be kind of part of the ethos of what grunge was about on a lot of levels. And I think it's apropos, given that amongst all the variations of this particular cut this song that they played live, the one in 2018 in Seattle of all places, where you had Kim Thayil, Steve Turner, Mark Arm, all these wonderful, wonderful iconic musicians from this scene coming together to play Sonic Reducer as a group. I thought it was not only apropos, but I just thought it was kind of a culmination in a lot of ways for what that song has meant in Pearl Jam live lore and what it has meant, I think, in terms of spirit and the way that it has kind of guided a lot of the undertones of what the punk aspects of grunge were all about. So that particular performance with those amazing gentlemen joining Pearl Jam on stage for me is a top 5 live guest appearance.
Yeah. I'm kind of mad at myself now for not having that in my top 5 because I was there for it. I watched it happen in front of my face.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I was there. And
I have it written down. I just we had to put the 5. It just didn't make it. But yeah,
Sheehan, were you at that show too?
I was not. I was not at the home shows.
Okay. So,
I
so
wish.
Jason, as do I. You were there. Did it feel? Was there a gravity to that moment, or was it just like, oh, cool?
You definitely felt the fact that, like you said, you've got a large chunk of, I don't want to say Mount Rushmore, but like the small circle of people who are so important to that city elevating its music scene on the stage together. And for two guys in Steve and Mark who have been underrated for so long. I mean, Mudhoney has been a pillar that I feel like is in the shadows for a lot of people,
Yep.
and yet they're so important on a variety of levels. So to have them come out there with their brother Kim, the sound was just thick. I mean, you got what, 5 guitars on stage?
Yeah,
whatever
it's
it
a
was.
wall, man.
It's a wall of sound.
Yeah.
And Mark and Ed trading, and like it was a lot of fun. And Mark, I don't know how Mark still screams. I remember asking him this when I talked to him back, 2 years ago. I go, how the hell do you keep doing that? And I don't know. So it's like him and Kevin Martin somehow have not lost their voice over 35 years,
crazy.
but I'm mad that I didn't. That was done with me. So
They also did kick out the jams, right? At that show.
Was it that they've done it? Was it that show?
I thought, maybe I'm wrong.
Now I'm looking it up. Kick Out the Jams featuring Kim Thale on night 2.
Yeah.
Oh, and then Search and Destroy was with the three of them, which preceded Sonic Producer.
Okay.
So that was what it was.
But good choice at Sonic Producer.
Yeah.
Sonic
excellent
Producer
choice.
had excellent life this past tour also.
Yes, it did.
I saw it twice and it was clicking like never before.
Great.
And I believe I listened to the boot actually today, and Ed made mention of the lyricist, the writer of the lyrics specifically, because I guess he passed away recently. So
Yeah.
good choice.
Very
Number
good choice.
4 for me is going to be a song most of us don't think about, and that is "In the Moonlight" from Alpine Valley, Pearl Jam 20
Nice.
with Josh Homme. The reason why I have this here, number one, I really like the song. I think it's super fun.
As do I. Totally
Yeah.
with you on that.
That's a real fun, janky little groove. But the reason why I have it here is because Josh Homme adds something to this song that is different than the usual additions that you get. Now, I think that from here on out, you're going to get that regardless. But there's a number of performances where it's like, all right, they're gang vocaling, rocking the free world, or they're just playing the rhythm guitar on whatever song. And like, that's cool. But he's adding another element that makes the song even better for me. And that was the backing vocals. He wasn't doubling. He wasn't just trading verses. He was actually augmenting what Ed was doing the whole song. And it was so good. So I think that, I mean, I don't know when we'll ever get a proper release of PJ20 as far as the entirety of that night.
It's shocking that we haven't yet. There's got to be a reason for that.
I would imagine the inclusion of Chris is from a legality point of view, an issue. It would be my understanding or my guess if I had to issue one, but it's just so good. And so to get a proper mix of it would be great. But anyways, yeah, Josh Homme in Moonlight.
Cool. I need to go check that out.
All right, so now we're back around again. Now we're at number 3. What do you got, Sheehan?
Okay, this is going to be, this is one that's kind of out there, but I just appreciate how out there it actually was. Another show that I wasn't at, have it on wax, love watching the video. I'm going 99 Problems. Pearl Jam featuring Jay-Z.
That's a great
absolutely love it. I love it, love it, love it. And I mean, when you watch the video of them doing it at the Made in America Festival, Jay-Z comes on with them. There is nothing else other than Pearl Jam and Jay-Z rapping over it. And
it's
then
like Shades of Judgment Day. Remember that? The soundtrack? I go Cypress Hill. I mean, it's just, it's great.
Yeah, no, it's like, I mean, the marriage between hip hop and rock is just beautiful. And there it was live. They had these 2 video screens where they just showed Eddie just rocking out on his telly and Jay-Z on the other one. And I was like, man, like this is just great. Like I love that happened. I love that it's immortalized on a Christmas single. Love it.
And for those of you watching, like if you're not that big into hip hop, like you have to understand he is like a godfather of hip hop. I mean, Jay-Z is an epic, iconic figure of that genre. So just not your average hip hop artist joining them on stage for a song. You know?
Right.
He's not the. I joke now that so many hip hop artists are like Lil something. Just like have a noun and it's Lil something.
Yeah.
And I confuse a lot of them because mumble rap has become so kind of ubiquitous over the last decade, and I just can't get into it. Mumble rap, where it's like, like they're doing their thing, but it's so kind of like mumbly that I don't get it. Whereas Jay is like, you hear his flow and he's telling the story, and I get it, and it's sick beats, and I mean, you guys ever heard the Double Black album where it's Jay-Z over Metallica's Black Album?
Yeah.
Like someone brilliant. So to hear Pearl Jam get assigned the house band for Jay-Z for a song, that's legit. That's legit.
Right.
That's the kind of marriage you want at a show like that, too.
And it worked so well. Like, it just worked so well. It sounded great.
Cool. Man, no repeats so far. I like it. Paul,
that's
number
true.
3.
Yeah. Well, we're going to have a repeat now.
God damn it.
I go back to a conversation we had with the Rockfords. And listening to Carrie talk about Mike and the other guy's obsession with Kiss, and then to have Mike on our show and to have Mike McCready talk about his affinity for Kiss and how the guys in the band, I mean, they can sit around on a tour bus just talking about Kiss endlessly. So I don't think you can understate what it was like to have Ace Frehley come on for a song like Black Diamond, which, by the way, is my favorite Kiss song. So when I saw that, it is. So when I saw that as on, part of the track listing for that show, my head almost exploded. I'm like, what? You know what I mean? I think the only thing cooler would have been if Eddie Van Halen and Mike did Eruption together or something. But I can honestly, that would blow my mind too. But I can tell you though, just to have Ace up there for all the reasons that you enumerated, the affinity for the band, playing with childhood heroes, just kind of living this moment that probably inspired them to want to be rock stars in the first place, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
And just having fun with it, you know what I mean? This wasn't about decadence and debauchery, and this was about just like playing a song that they probably covered in their basement or in their bedroom for years. For all I know, they still rock out to this song just at home, you know what I mean? So it was a big moment with a legendary rock star, and I appreciate what it means for them as people, as fans of music. And how can you not appreciate that? You know what I mean? We always celebrate these moments where fans are brought on stage to sing a song or do something with Pearl Jam, or the artists that they support telling us, and we've had many of them on the show talking about how much they've idolized Pearl Jam growing up and those moments that they have with Pearl Jam. But to have members of Pearl Jam have Ace Frehley come on stage, you know what I mean? Like it's a special thing. So pretty cool.
Yeah, it's a different version of the, Ed having one of his childhood heroes and Neil Young come up. Like that was one of the other guys. Actually, I guess you could say two of the other guys' childhood dreams in Matt and Mike coming true in the same way that Ed would have felt that way all those other times before. So yeah, it's a great show.
And I can't help but think Carrie chuckled when she heard that news too.
Oh yeah.
She's like, of course he's up there.
All right. Well, my number 3, I mentioned it before. It's going to be Peter Frampton playing Black with Pearl Jam just a few weeks ago in Nashville. Now, Peter has played with the band before. I was informed or reminded that he joined Pearl Jam and Neil.
Rockin' the Free World. And,
Right.
2004 or something, I forget, 14.
Yeah, the Vote for Change tour.
Yeah.
So, and that's cool. But there was something about, you mentioned it before, Sheehan, there's something about what you add to a song. And when it's a song as iconic as Black is, and I think we've gone over Black a number of times, but there's something about the interplay with all the different instruments. You've got Stone doing his rhythm thing. You got Mike doing his Hendrixy little fills thing. You got the organ, and there's a piano. There's backing vocals soaring. There's all kinds of stuff happening. So, like, where's the space And one of our patrons was like, I don't know if I like the version because from what I'm hearing, it sounds like there's a lot happening. And I was like, well,
Interesting.
I was there and I didn't get that. I got, because you could see Mike and Peter sitting side by side and like they're each watching what each other's doing and saying, okay, you're playing up there. I'll follow you over here in a different position on the neck, and different voicing of whatever chord comes next than what you would have played. And I thought it was magical. I don't know how you make Black better, but it was magical. And I think that it informed Ed to even throw in the tag of, do you feel like I feel? Which, considering Black's theme, is a pretty cool tag that I don't know that they've ever done. So
no, I don't think so.
For me, solid.
You're totally right. And to add on that one, so I didn't put this one in my top 5 because we talked about it before I ranked these. But such beauty in that cover particularly was that Frampton actually played his first solo over the second verse. Right.
That's right. That's right.
There was the end.
There
of
was
it
no second
where
verse.
he and Mike went back and forth, and that was great. That was cool. But to me, the real beauty was when he went completely Frampton on us and just took over the set. Eddie didn't sing the "I Take a Walk Outside," the second verse,
right?
Because Frampton did it, and he didn't try to play it like Pearl Jam. Like he didn't try to kind of mold to the band and mold to the song. He did it just so much like him. And I'm going to admit, I don't listen to him very much, right? I actually saw him last year because I was like, I just knew I had to see this legend and, perhaps I would understand it more. And I went to that show. I listened to him a bunch before. Seeing him with Pearl Jam and seeing him choose to do a solo over the chorus and then seeing what he did, the verse, see what he did with Mike. I feel like I just understood him so much more just through that. And that's the beauty of doing it on a classic, right? I know everything else about Black, so I could listen to him specifically. Like I just knew what everything else was going to sound like. It was so perfect. It was such a great collaboration.
And it's not in your top 5.
Well, it was gonna be, but
I
then
had to categorize. I had to have my silos.
I put numbers on here after we had talked about it, so I was like, okay, it might be a tie for number 1, but I've got another one.
You can slot it in later. I mean, I changed my won't tell rating like 5
times. Well, now I've
times
said my
show.
piece about it too. So
there's no rules really.
Yeah,
I won't tell Jason. Don't worry.
Okay. All right.
Good one.
I mean,
really good.
Paul, it's your turn. Number what are we got now? 2?
No, it's Sheehan.
No, wait, Paul, it's Sheehan. You mean number 2?
It's me. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. After all that,
Sheehan's numero dos first.
Yes.
Okay. My number 2 is one that I really, really liked listening to in college when I finally had fast enough internet to download songs. It's Steve Cropper sitting in with the band in 1994 on Dock of the Bay.
Oh, nice. Just a lovely Otis Redding tune. And being from San Francisco, that song has a special place in my heart. So great. Oh,
nice.
Good shout.
Nice. The interesting thing about it too, right? So many people kind of just got confused by it because it starts with Eddie saying it's such an honor to be playing one of his own songs with him tonight, right? And everyone's kind of like, oh, have you heard that version of Pearl Jam with Otis Redding? And I'm like, Pearl Jam did not play with Otis Redding. It's just,
exactly.
We don't think
he's
of
the one that made that song so famous,
Right. We don't think of the fact that Steve Cropper was a co-write on it. So that's what Eddie meant. But yeah, it is a gorgeous version, and Steve takes it to another level perfectly.
What a call, man. Hats off to you for that one. That's the highlight of this entire discussion for me. I love that. That was great.
Try and approach it, Paul, with your number 2.
My number 2 is I'm gonna echo the same song, Jason, that you just talked about, but for very different reasons. So Frampton playing Black, I think it is my number 2, but for different reasons. Number 1, it's my favorite Pearl Jam song. So for me to,
oh, wow.
for there to be a live version of this song where they have somebody guest with them on this tune, it'd have to be butchered for it to not be in my top 5. But I want to take you back to 1976. Let's go back to 1976.
Not boring.
Pearl Jam obviously is not playing in 1976.
Yeah.
That being said, though, Peter Frampton had 4 studio albums come out before 1976. None of them did particularly well.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't mean they weren't good. They just weren't commercially successful in the way that this album in 1976, Frampton Comes Alive, would be. Peter Frampton decides to release a live album. Frampton Comes Alive, 1976. It becomes the best-selling, it's one of the best-selling live albums ever. So I think that bears worth understanding. It's number 41 on Rolling Stone's greatest live albums of all time. And it was the best-selling album, period, of 1976. I mean,
Was it really?
Wow.
A live album
This
was
album-
number one. Wow.
Yeah.
Didn't know
So
that.
this it's a best-selling album. It's one of the greatest albums of all time. It's just a live album. And for me, I associate Frampton Comes Alive with Peter Frampton. I associate him as this artist who found his voice live. And I think of a song like Black and how the identity of that song has completely changed from what it was immortalized in the studio version to what it is now as a live version where Mike's guitar playing has somehow, only through the sheer talent of this man, somehow managed to replace Eddie as the spotlight of a composition in which his voice had previously featured not only prominently, but iconically and indispensably. So for Frampton and his immaculate guitar playing to come and play on a song, Frampton, whose career was defined by playing live, to play a song that has now become redefined in the way that it is played live, with the man whose guitar playing has redefined it. The magnitude of this.
We're getting meta right now. I don't know where I
I'm
am.
telling you, man. Like it's a big deal. When you see the greater context and you can ground it in Peter Frampton's career and you think about his trajectory and I don't know. It's just when I obviously I wasn't at the show, but I mean when I saw that he had played on Black and this is where my head went. And I immediately had to I could not wait to hear what this sounded like. And I'm not going to, reiterate because both Sheehan, Jason, you both very eloquently and beautifully talked about what was magical about the performance itself. I just wanted to talk historically why I think it's significant. So that's the reason why I think number 2. So hopefully fresh take, fresh angle.
Yes.
Thank you for that. Wow. You gave me chills.
And consider this too.
So true.
The guy barely made it on stage. Like he sits down. You're like, oh man, is he going to be able to play? This, my guy, just like it's nothing. Like he's 25. Like no big deal.
And how classy that the rest of the guys sat down with him too.
Yes.
Yeah.
The reverence. I mean,
a tip of the cap. Exactly.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Paul, thank you for that context. I mean, wow. That's
I think it's a big moment, a bit bigger than I think a lot of people maybe give it credit for. So at least
agreed.
Eddie did call out also, I mean, like that they kind of grew up on that live album and it inspired them to also do the bootlegs. Right. The first band
doing, he uses his voice on Frampton Comes like as an instrument. What he's doing with that box, I mean, it's if you guys haven't heard it in a while, I definitely recommend putting that thing on.
If you're aware of Richie Sambora or Jerry Cantrell or Slash and their use of the talk box, guess where they got that inspiration from?
Yeah.
So, Paul, I'm going to bookend what Sheehan said about 5 minutes ago and say my number 2 is Steve Cropper, Dock of the Bay, Murfreesboro, Tennessee, 1994. And your point about the co-writer thing and people not knowing, I love that. People don't realize Steve Cropper wrote it with Otis. And I think given, I don't know, something about that part of the country just feels swampy and dirty and like organic and like just down home and like New Orleans and Nashville and Memphis and just down there, Atlanta, you just get that feel. And so Dock of the Bay, I don't know what mentally my brain always goes to those feelings, those words, and to see Ed sing, and that's one of my favorite eras of Eddie's voice is 94, 95.
Yeah.
So to hear him just dial that Otis Redding vocal delivery with Steve Cropper just absolutely murdering the main guitar part, and to watch Stone augment what he's doing in almost an understated, like not reserved, but like he's the compliment. Usually Stone's the guy that's running the show with the riff and like the groove and like, no, he's sitting admirably by and playing off what Steve's doing. And I mean, it's obviously a legendary song.
Mhm.
So you've got to do it well. Otherwise, it's like, oh shit, that wasn't you went after that. You went after Black, Mr. Frampton. Oh, well, you nailed that. Okay, so it's fine. You've elevated it now. That's incredible. Like it's hard to approach a song that's that revered, and as classic as Dock of the Bay is, I think all the stars kind of aligned, and that was it. Might have been the only time they've ever played that, or maybe one of the few times they've played. I think they actually may have played it
As a
more
band,
recently.
maybe.
Yeah.
Ed's done it with others, but yeah.
So I think that really that was a stars aligning moment, and it was just super awesome. So
Well said.
Sweet.
I like that one.
All right.
All right.
The time has come.
The time has come.
Yeah. All right, Sheehan.
Okay. Well, yeah, we don't need to talk about Frampton again, but I'm going to say probably tied for my number one. Tied with July 8th, 2003. Ben Harper on Indifference.
Oh, good call. Yeah.
Well played.
Sheehan, there was a point in time where you almost couldn't imagine or envision them playing this song live without Ben playing it with them. So
And see,
I like where you're
that's-
going with this.
That's kind of what I mean, right? Like when another artist can really bring it to life, it is the essence of what the real collaboration and the beauty of it happening on stage in front of a crowd that, Jason, you and I happened to be in. I don't know, Paul, were you there too? Live at the Garden?
No, I was
Okay.
not.
So, but like still, you know, we watch it, probably all watch it a million times on the DVD too. I mean, just absolutely, it's as if the song was written for Ben. Does that like, especially the I'll Swallow Poison, right? Like now the crowd sings that really, but I always just hear Ben singing it. Always.
Wow.
Was it one of the first times, or maybe even the first time you heard that song live? Like yourself in person?
Quite possibly. Yeah,
I think it was
probably
my
is
first time
actually.
seeing it.
I think it was my 5th Pearl Jam show at that point. So yeah. And yeah, binaural.
And it
right
wasn't
after,
it
so,
wasn't that common at the time on that tour. So I'll tell you right now, that was my honorable mention. So I will say that I find that there's, and you can see it when you watch the DVD, there's a hesitancy to Ben. Like he's like, do I approach the mic now? I don't know if I should step in. This is because this is one of the most iconic Ed performances vocally, because the music is so again, the music is more of a platform for the vocal than a lot of other songs are in the catalog. It's almost a naked performance by Ed, and that's one of that and maybe Release, as far as slower song or quieter songs, really showcased his ability at the time.
Yeah.
So when you have Ben's more, I don't know, he approaches singing from a different angle, and so it helps, I guess, round the delivery of of those lyrics in a way that's just like, he's got a different soul than Ed does, but they both add soul. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's complementary in a sense that like I didn't know that I was gonna need that in my life.
It's so
I like
good.
that choice. I guess is my point.
So good.
Paul, number 2.
Number one.
Number one. Sorry, Jesus Christ.
Number one. There's one live version of a song that I had that I'm just glad exists. I really am. And it's Brendan O'Brien joining Pearl Jam on stage in 1995 for Better Man.
Oh,
great shout.
This is a big moment when you think about how the song came to be in the catalog. It's very commonly regarded as one of the best Pearl Jam songs of all time, and it is a song that they did not want to see the light of day, pardon me. And
Well, one of them didn't.
well, okay, no, but I mean, if you go back to the studio, like Eddie's playing the song, and then Brendan's like, "Yes, this is it." I mean, you guys have all seen the interview with Brendan O'Brien. And that collective sigh, Eddie's talked about.
It's going to be a
well.
hit. Oh,
it's going to be a hit. Oh man, and so, but if you think about what Brendan did, because he says this, he recorded all the shows at the time, and so he talks a lot about that Fox Theater performance where he takes the drums, the bass, and Mike's guitar, and he takes these 3 versions of Better Man and he cobbles them together to make the version that we've come to know.
Mm-hmm.
That's what sold Eddie. That's when they were like, okay, yeah, we can get behind this now. Now it doesn't sound so poppy. to us anymore. But that original version on the Vitology and Verses re-release, where it's just Brendan on an organ,
So good.
and it's haunting, man. It's beautiful, and to have Brendan go on stage in this amazing, timeless venue, both for Eddie being from Chicago and just whether you're a Bears fan or not, Soldier Field is just it's an iconic institution, I think,
especially before the alien spaceship landed on top of it.
Yeah. So when you consider that Brendan is the reason that we have this song on a Pearl Jam record, and that it's played every tour, I don't think this happens if Brendan doesn't get Pearl Jam to a place where they can embrace this song. Like it's his vision and his ability to help them see something in their own music that they either refused to see or couldn't. That's why this song is part of the Pearl Jam lexicon. So for him to go out there and play the organ in Soldier Field, and for you to hear that, it's the only version of it you're going to hear like that. You know what I mean? You don't get Brendan O'Brien on the keys, the man responsible for that organ in the first place, playing, the man himself playing that sound with Eddie's voice and the rest of the band. It's just, it's almost like, that this is what could have been if it had been, if we had Boom back then or something, I don't know, but it's a special performance to me because of who, what Brendan means to that song on Vitology. And I think it's special because of his inclusion in the work that he did on the keys. I think it adds so much ambiance and tone and mood to that song that's absent otherwise. And so that does not mean, I'm not suggesting that when they play Better Man Now that it falls flat. It does not.
No, you are. Don't lie.
No, I'm not. I just mean that it's a hit for it. There's a reason that it was a hit, right? And that one live cut is the closest, or the only time really that I feel like we were able to kind of like bask in the glow of that moment. So in a live setting anyway.
Wow.
Yeah. That's a great choice. It's I think it may have been our live cut choice, actually, now that I think about it.
Was.
Yeah.
It sure was.
Okay, so my number one is Paul's number 5, and that is Neil Young joining Pearl Jam to play Rock in the Free World in front of millions on MTV. And so I said live event earlier because this is not a Pearl Jam show, but it is Pearl Jam playing live in front of people, a lot of people. And for all the reasons that you said, Paul, especially the fact that they needed the grounding when they were starting to get away from themselves. Neil Young was the sandbag that was on their hot air balloon that they couldn't figure out how to maneuver. And he was like, "Oh, I got you. Relax. Hold on. Back down to earth a little bit." And they needed that. And the fact that song has become their song, not Neil's song anymore. I don't think Neil even wants to play it.
Isn't that nuts to think about? Wow.
It's become their song. And not recently, like a while ago. I will argue, and I'll say it on camera, I could stand to maybe not hear it so often because it's been played a lot. I could use a little breather. Doesn't mean it's not a great song though, and doesn't mean that particular performance wasn't massive for a variety of reasons that you, Paul, said earlier. So I'm making that my number one. I do want to throw out one last performance because you mentioned Brendan O'Brien. Maybe this will be kind of like an addendum or honorable mention or whatever, but see what your guys' take is on this. I think that the significance of Brendan coming out and playing Chloe Dancer in Las Vegas in 2000 ahead of Crown of Thorns is a huge deal. The first time they ever played Crown of Thorns.
It sounds beautiful with him on those keys.
Was it PJ20 where you see some of that rehearsal, right? Earlier in the day, making sure that they're like, can we do it? Can we do it? And 10th anniversary show, and they pull it out, and it's like, that song is so important to the story of Pearl Jam.
So important. Yeah.
And to have Brendan, who is so important to the evolution and the reconstruction in a lot of ways of the band, your point about Better Man included, it's not lost on me. And I feel a little bad that I didn't include it, but it's super significant for me. I don't know, Sheehan, what do you think?
I mean, anytime they play that song, I've talked about that song a lot. I mean, the two, right? Chloe Crown. that I always loved when they do it. I felt like for a while it became a tradition for them to do it the last night of a tour. Like not necessarily the last night of a leg, but the last night of a tour. And they've since moved away from that. But I always thought that was great because it was paying homage to Mother Love Bone. And, just remembering, hey, we've just finished a whole set of finished something iconic for us, but we remember where we came from. And and yeah, that's a great call. Anytime they play that song. But yeah, you're right. With Brendan, absolutely more significant.
Agreed.
Well, for anybody who is really mad at us that we did not include anything with Chris Cornell because that automatically makes it Temple of the Dog and automatically makes it way too cool, go check out them playing Stardog Champion with Chris Cornell on vocals from Alpine Valley. Holy shit, that's a great cover. That was part of my research, was enjoying that the other day.
Nice.
So there you go. And by the way, apparently, if I'm not mistaken, there was a 25th anniversary box set of Temple of the Dog that came out, I want to say in 2019 or whatever the right year is, that included a DVD of those performances from Alpine Valley. So if you wanted, I believe, I think, someone will correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe you could get visual and correctly mixed versions of the Temple songs on the box set. It's available on Amazon. So go do that if you would like that, because that'd be pretty great to have.
Very cool.
Anywho, people are yelling, people are writing in the comments. What do we miss? I'm sure there's plenty that we
missed.
There's
a lot, no doubt.
The crazy thing about this topic is I don't think of Pearl Jam as a special guest band, right? I just don't think that it's a common thing, and it just so yeah. The fact that we had this long of a discussion about it, I mean, it's awesome.
There's 1,100 shows, I think, or more. So
if you're watching or listening and you threw out everything we just said and gave us 5 brand new ones, I bet you'd have a compelling argument for those 5.
Here you go.
For sure.
Brandy Carlisle singing Better Man with Pearl Jam in 2021 Ohana. Tom Hamilton playing bass on Draw the Line in Boston 2016.
That was awesome.
Keep going.
So
you know what's crazy about that? Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Paul.
No, Sheehan,
Paul.
please.
What was crazy about that, because Jason, this is another one that you and I were both at, right?
Yeah.
It felt like, I mean, if you remember Ed introducing Tom Hamilton and then kind of introducing himself, I think that was the first time that even met was on stage.
I don't remember that. It's great.
Because they played it both nights. They played it the first night, right?
Yeah.
And then there was a night off. They played it the second night, and that's when they brought Tom Hamilton on. And I want to say I really saw Eddie reach out to him and be like, thank you so much. This was great to meet you. And get I was like, whoa, okay, they did this off the cuff. This is awesome.
And Tom is super normal dude. Really quick side story. I was in between jobs and just plucking things out of thin air a number of years ago out here in Los Angeles, and I got offered to do this one-off. I don't know what the hell it was. Almost basically a PA type of thing where Aerosmith was announcing their new album, which was the Music from Another Dimension album, whatever it was. And they did the announcement at the Grove here in Los Angeles, which is an outdoor
when you were at
mall.
the Mac store?
No.
No.
Actually, I may have been working at the Apple store at the time, but I wasn't working at the Apple store at the Grove. If anybody knows what the hell I'm talking about, you can go look it up. But anyways, they wanted to it was basically a press thing, and they were going to hey, we're going to do this whole tour and announcement and take questions from the audience, and the press was there. But they wanted to come in weird ways. So Steve, Tyler wanted to come in some classic car, and Joe Perry wanted to come in on a horse or something like that. I forget what it was. But my responsibility was to bring in Tom Hamilton in a rickshaw.
That is hilarious.
So I had to wear a suit, and it's kind of hot out. So I'm dragging Tom Hamilton down, and there's a trolley there. So there's trolley tracks I'm trying to avoid, because otherwise the thing will get stuck in the trolley track. And so I'm here's Tom Hamilton. And I grew up loving Get a Grip. Only because my mom is a huge Aerosmith fan. So I heard
Wake Up Kid,
in the Attic and Rocks.
You say nothing really changed but the date.
With the date.
You a grand slammer, but Babe Ruth. There we go.
How to relate. Anywho, I love Aerosmith. I love Tom Hamilton, and that's my Tom Hamilton story. So to hear him come out and play Draw the Line, which is one of my favorite songs, Aerosmith, was really cool. That's not even in the top 5, guys. Not even in the top 5. I just gave you 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Thank you. That was fantastic. I never knew that about you, and we're like best friends. I officiated your wedding, you bastard. You never told me this. Listen, I want to ask, come up with one realistic, like we could actually hear this, one realistic guest spot that you would love to see the next time Pearl Jam goes on tour. And I'll start it off just to get you going, give you some time to
right.
I would love to hear Pearl Jam have Brandi Carlile join them on stage to do Take the Long Way Off Gigaton.
Ooh.
I just think that she would be perfect on that song. I just think that the vocal piece would be exactly what I want to hear on it.
Shit.
Interesting. Okay, I have an answer if you want some time to think, Jason.
Yeah, I need some time.
And here's the thing, right? This is not my favorite Pearl Jam song. It's not my favorite other artist. There's just, I feel like the synergy would work so well. I'm going to go with Got Some. It, again, wasn't my favorite song. It wasn't my favorite song until I realized
where you're going with this.
And the special guest is Sting.
Really?
Because I only started to like the song Got Some when I realized just how influenced it was by the Police.
Mm.
You know, like got, you know, like, could you just imagine Sting coming up and like rocking out to that?
Come for the top 5 live guest moments. Stay for Sheehan doing his best Sting impersonation.
I mean, I just feel like
song the same. I love this.
I just feel like he would be so perfect at it. Like it's a Police song that Pearl Jam just happened to record, and I think Sting would bring it to life in a way that just we haven't heard. And again, all respect for Sting. I love him. I've seen him a couple of times. Not my favorite song, but I do feel like this is just needs to happen.
I'm so glad I asked this question.
Me too.
Man.
Thank you.
I got one for you. I think it's possible. I don't think it's probable. Jimmy Page joins them on Inside Job.
Oh, that would be legendary. Wow.
Let him do the 12-string. Let Mike do another guitar part. Have a build and maybe elongate the intro. And
I thought you were going to say Jimmy Page joins them for Given to Fly, but I didn't want to go there.
Hey, throw Jimmy Page on to Take the Long Way too, man.
Yeah, why?
Put Jimmy Page on anything.
Yeah, that's true. Exactly. Literally anything.
Anyway.
Wow.
Thank you, Jill, for these. I think you have one, Sheehan, right? Somewhere?
I do. Yeah. I actually have 2 myself.
Oh.
I actually was sitting next to Jill and her friend who traveled with her as well in the merch line night 2.
Were you?
So yeah, long discussions with them. It was great. Great people.
Very cool.
By the way, if you guys didn't see our merch line Q&A, me and Sheehan talking about what people want for night 2, that's a fun watch. That's a fun watch.
Or just the bumping into each other in the merch line the morning of.
God, that was some of the best comedy is the dumbest comedy. Thank you, Conan O'Brien, for that inspiration. How did we cobble that together like the morning of? Like, what the hell?
The morning of, yeah.
I just bumped into each other. You, me, you, me, you. Anywho,
fun times.
Thank you everybody for watching or listening to this. Again, if you are in the giving mood, the fundraiser of the month is Alzheimer's Association, and right now there is a QR code on your screen. You can scan that. You can send in any amount of money to help the over 7 million Americans who are living with the disease right now. If you send in $5 or more, Paul, do you have any remaining stickers or pins or pics to show the people what they'll get?
I might have a few lying around somewhere. I don't know.
I lost my. Oh, here it is.
Love it. Make it rain. Make it rain.
Rain stickers. There's one. Hey, where's the OG?
Rain over me,
right
Sheehan. Rain over.
Oh,
very nice. And if you're the greatest donator to that wonderful cause, you're going to get the old Loose Groove comp on vinyl. And we got Mason Jennings on there, Zosher, James and the Cold Gun, Tiger Cub, Brad, Josh Freeze, The Deception, Tony Polanski, Brittany Davis, Ani DeFranco, and Stone Gossard. What a compilation that you could have on your
good one
turntable back there.
Yep.
If you want to say thank you to this show, you can also be a Patreon member. Like I said, the patrons, what do they also, their number one answer, by the way, the patrons, was other. And the other was Cortez the Killer with Neil Young in 2004. Ben Harper on Red Mosquito. ACL 2009. That's a great shout. Ben Harper with Lap Seal.
I actually had that one from the Gibson.
Great shout on that
theater,
one.
Yeah.
Let's see here. John Popper on harmonica on Even Float, Randall's Island Night 1. That's impressive.
To listen to that.
And then you've got Cheap Trick Surrender was mentioned, as you said. Mark Arm kicked out the jams in Missoula. So a lot of great ones. And if you are a patron in the month of June, you will get possibly the giveaway, which is this. The Flannel Years. It's the book by Karen Mason Blair, and it's full of wonderful grunge photography. So that could be yours if you're a patron in the month of June. And if you want to buy something to support the show, like a mug, you can do that. And we thank you very much. Otherwise, if you're here on YouTube, go ahead and like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell for notifications. And if you're listening only, Paul, what should they do?
Rate, review, subscribe on your preferred podcast platform of choice. Make it rain, as Sheehan likes to say.
Yes. Stickers.
Whenever I talk to Sheehan, he's always talking about making it rain. I don't know why.
Emma.
I don't know.
Try making it rain for Ticketmaster, you shield.
Oh, okay. Let's not open up that can of. Oh boy, keep it closed. Keep that.
It was so much fun. I love it.
But we didn't do a follow-up to that one.
Oh God. Oh boy. What's that? Huh? Oh, I'm being called. I'm being told I can't talk anymore. Thank you to Sheehan for coming by again.
Thank you very much for having me. Pleasure as always.
And we'll see you next week. And until we do, you're listening to or watching
The State of Love and Trust.